folks, it's Emma. This video is going to be a little bit fun, a little bit educational, so like pretty much all my videos. Cool. I'm going to show you and talk about some of my tics that are a little bit weird or at least seem uncommon to me. So yeah, my 5 weirdest tics. I guess they seem strange to me because they're just not the typical tics that you hear about or that you see in like Tourette charts that tell you what simple and complex tics are. They're just out of the ordinary in a few ways. Let's talk about them. The first one I want to mention is my hand shaking tic that I really don't do that much. It's more of really actually a hand drawing tic because I end up drawing this weird thing with it. It kind of looks like a comma if I actually draw it out, like on a piece of paper, but I draw it with my hand, and now that I'm talking about it, I'm doing it. Here it is. I just draw this weird shape with like my middle finger being like super extended, and then I kind of use my ring finger, and you know, I draw the shape. There's no rhyme or reason to it besides that it's a tic and I need to do it. Number 2 is actually a tic that I haven't done in years. It was very prevalent when I was younger for a long time and was really disruptive to my thought processes because it's a mental tic. And I call it the cursive tic. Basically, when people said things, I'd have to draw what they said in cursive in my head. It was a whole process. So like, say someone said teddy bear. I don't know why that's the first word that came to my brain, but let's go with it. So they said teddy bear, and then I just like in my brain think out, honestly, like it would be different utensils that I'd use at different times. It was really complex. Like sometimes I'd think about myself painting it, or like with a pen, or like with a pencil. It depended. I don't know. Like I don't know why each utensil was used at what time, but anyway, super complex. So in that instance, I would write out in cursive teddy bear in my brain and I'd like visualize it. It's a weird one, and it also makes it hard to do other things while you're doing that tic because you can't really think about other things because you're so focused on visualizing this one thing. And you can't even really think other like word thoughts. Word thoughts? Makes sense in my head. But yeah, the cursive tic, 0 out of 10 would not recommend. Number 3 is this weird complex tic that I've been doing since I was little. It's like 3 things. There's like 3 parts to it. I blow up my cheeks with my finger on my bottom lip, and then I don't lick my finger, but I kind of like that weird connector with your tongue to your bottom of your mouth. I swipe my finger across it, and then I swipe my finger across this area. That took a lot of focus for me to talk about it and not have to keep doing it repeatedly. But the weird thing is I also do all of those tics separately. So although I will have to do that, I'll also just blow up my cheeks by itself, that tic as one thing, and then I'll also swipe my finger there as a different tic and do this as a different tic. So it's just like simple tics being combined together to make a complex tic. Number 4, my nail tics. So I've talked about this in a different video, but I have a tic where I push my nails together, and I have a tic where I bend my nails. I just think both of those are weird or like interesting because I've never heard of anyone else having any nail tics. I mean, like, I'm sure people do have nail tics. I've just never in the Tourette community heard anyone else talk about having tics that they do with their nails. And number 5, my finger in belly button tic. This one is a little interesting. I do it still kind of a decent amount to even today, but not to the point that I used to do it. I used to do it like a lot. I actually think it was part of my 3 most hurtful tics video, and I demonstrated in that video from like years ago. But back in those times, I used to get a callus on my belly button from scraping my fingernail into my belly button. Nowadays, it doesn't happen enough to where I really have a callus, or okay, I'm feeling my belly button right now. But I have a very slight callus there, but it used to get like really, really hard and rough in my belly button and then sometimes bleed, and it was gross and it hurt. Thankfully, I don't have to deal with it being that severe anymore, but I always thought that it was such a strange tic. So yeah, those are my 5 weirdest tics, and honestly, I could probably think of a lot more tics that I consider to be weird things that I do, but those are just the ones that came to my head as probably the weirdest. I hope you enjoyed or related or learned something, or all 3, And thank you for watching so much. You can like, you can comment, you can subscribe. Those are options for you. All three of those, they're options for you. Also, I love when people comment on my videos, and I try to reply to as many of them as I can, even though there's like not that many. I just like don't always reply to all of them, and I'm going to try to get better at that. Leave me a comment. I love it. All right, thanks, Twitches. Bye.